Deeds of the Lord. I say it again. Proclaim to all the nations the marvelous deeds of the Lord. That was a responsorial psalm this evening. And that is precisely what you and I are called to do as members of Christ's body, as members of the church. Filled with joy, we are to give witness and share with those we come in contact with the marvelous deeds that the Lord has done for each and every one of us. Because like the first reading today from the prophet Isaiah, we have experienced desolation. At times we have experienced anxieties, loneliness, fears, darkness that come from sin. When Isaiah wrote these words, he was not addressing them to an individual, but to an entire community, God's chosen people that were in the midst of turmoil and desolation because they were experiencing the Babylonian captivity. They were exiled. And so Isaiah is sharing with them good news. You are no longer desolate. You are not alone. God is with you. Your spouse has come to enter into this beautiful relationship. A relationship that will bind you together with God for eternity. Sign of hope, of joy. Their lives are going to be transformed for the better. Marvelous deed that God did for his people. Have we asked ourselves, when was the last time we experienced a marvelous deed coming from God? We take a moment and we think, can we number them? And if we say to ourselves, nothing, absolutely nothing, then we have a problem. Because if you open your eyes this morning and you woke up, you're alive. That's a marvelous deed. Gift of life. The fact that we're here together, sharing this beautiful gift with family, with friends, the opportunity to enjoy the gifts that the Lord provides through nature. When we encounter a gentle, innocent, radiating smile from a child, from the beautiful skies, the beautiful scenery of the environment that we're called to care for, our love relationships with people that God has placed in our lives, the acts of kindness that we have extended to others. These are marvelous deeds of the Lord. And we're called to give thanks to God. God who has empowered us with these wonderful gifts so that we can enhance the life of others. Like St. Paul in his letter is telling us, each one of us has received a powerful gift, the outpouring of the Holy Spirit on each and every one of us. And the Spirit has manifested itself in so many different, beautiful, life-giving ways. The talents that we have, the ability to love and care for others, are signs of the Spirit at work in our lives. Each time we do an act of kindness towards others, when we're merciful and compassionate with one another, when we care for the well-being of others, we're allowing the Spirit to work through us as we enhance the life of others, connecting them with God. We're not desolate. We're not alone. We're not abandoned. We're loved and cared for by God, our Father. And that's why we have this incredible, beautiful gospel passage from St. John. The very first public act of Jesus. The first miracle taking place at a gathering. Community coming together, celebrating a wedding feast. It is there where Jesus performs his first miracle, changing water into wine. It's a very powerful story because it's filled with a lot of wonderful symbols, powerful signs that reveal to us God's love. This first miracle is a sign of God's mercy, because filled with compassion and mercy for the couple that got married, Mary, our Blessed Mother, turns to her son in order for him to have mercy on them by rescuing them from a possible disaster, because running out of wine at a feast, a wedding feast, in those days marked total chaos. And that is why Jesus turns to his mother and says to her, "Is this a concern of yours or mine? The hour has not yet come." He's basically telling her, you realize, mother, that if I do this, the clock begins. Just like Times Square a couple of days ago, the countdown for New Year's. Well, basically Jesus told his mom, not in a disrespectful way, in a very loving way, you realize that the countdown begins to Calvary. The moment I do this, I begin the journey towards Jerusalem, where I will offer my life, accepting the will of the Father. And Mary's response was not, disregard what I said, just go back to the party, have fun. She did not say that. She did not say, forget it, She simply said to the servants, do whatever he tells you. Faith, trust is what was needed for that first miraculous sign to take place. Not only the faith and trust of Mary, our Blessed Mother, but also the attitude in which the servants did what Jesus asked them to do. They were not sarcastic or disrespectful or joking like, for real, water. It takes at least 6 weeks for the grape to ferment into wine. And now all of a sudden we're going to have 6 water jars turned into wine just like that. They never questioned. They never doubted. They never acted sarcastically or making fun of Jesus. They simply did what he asked. They trusted. If we fast forward the picture, the story of Jesus, you and I know very well that when he was arrested, he was led to Pilate, and Pilate led him to Herod. King Herod was waiting for Jesus and wanted to have fun with the Son of God, making fun of Jesus' abilities. He considered him a magician. And that's why he asked them, perform for me. Do a magic trick. I know you did in Cana this trick. I want to see it here. Give me some water. Change it into wine. And Jesus did nothing. That angered Herod. When he tried the cup that he had and was still water, he splashed it into Jesus' face and sent them back to Pilate. I had enough fun with you. That was a difference from the encounter that Jesus had with the servants and the trust that Mary had on her son. Miracles are not magic tricks. Miracles are powerful signs of God's love in response to the faith of the people, those who seek the Lord's mercy and compassion. Herod was not looking for a transforming moment in his life. He was not looking for a stronger relationship with the Lord. And that's why the sign that he was asking for was not given. But for us who believe and have trust in God, we recognize that what he does for you and me are not magic tricks. They're life-giving testimonies of his love, of how much he cares for us. Because a sinner that converts, experiences that transformation, is not a magic trick. It's that encounter with Jesus. And you and I are called to give thanks to God. Reason why we're here. Because time and time again, he has revealed himself to us in so many wonderful, compassionate ways that have enhanced our lives, finding meaning and purpose to our existence as we continue the journey. Journey that unites us with our spouse, Jesus. Because we, the church, are the bride of Christ. And he has come to seal that union with his blood. As we continue to celebrate the Eucharist today, we ask the Lord to continue to increase in us a deeper hunger for him, because we want to remain with him always. For we recognize that thanks to this loving act on the cross, we're not abandoned and no longer desolate, because he has destroyed the chains of sin, granting us true freedom, freedom that enhances our lives through the gift of grace, the outpouring of his loving Spirit. Indeed, we rejoice, for God has done wondrous deeds for us.